Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Maximum Octane. We are here in sunny Orlando, and we are at the Hyatt Regency. And I have to apologize; I'm losing my voice at this point. I don't know how many
Aren't we all?
podcasts we've done, and
Man,
I've probably physically spoken to 800 people
it's
so far.
Easily,
ridiculous.
easily.
So this week,
Multiple times on top of
and
that.
multiple times. So we're excited to be here. And my co-host, of course, Jason is here, and one of our longtime friends, Doug
Oh,
Robinson. Doug Robinson. Not meaning to laugh. We just had a whole thing about pronouncing names and making sure you say the right thing at Optimized Digital Marketing is with us, and we just love when Doug comes to visit, and he's always so helpful with our members and just even with us and the coaches and whenever we need things. So
right.
as we continue to tell all of you all the time, whether you're in our coaching program and sitting in our classes or you're at any of our events, the relationships you build with people are the most important key to your business, whether it's internal customers,
Right.
external customers, or partners. And so we just love when we get to hang out with our friends that do that. So how
I,
are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I love to hang out with my family too.
There we
Mhm.
go.
You guys are like family, and it's all about that triangle, right? It's the members, vendors, and the coaching program. All that makes everything work together.
It
So
is. I'm loving the new shirts.
They look
I had to
awesome.
step it up to keep up with you, Kim.
Did you? All right. I love it. I
All we
mean,
need now is a wig.
Who says this isn't one? Just kidding.
Ah.
Just
there's
kidding.
that. There's that.
No, this is great. I mean, one of the things that we all, like you said, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to anything in any organization for that matter, there's so much stuff that's always changing. There's so much stuff that we can be doing. We talk about this all the time. And sometimes if you go back 3 years, 4 years from now, and you just look at some of the stuff we were talking about back then when it comes to at least marketing,
Yep.
you guys should still be doing the same things. Obviously, there's a lot more new stuff out there. There's things that are changing, but the stuff that we always recommend, people should still be doing that, and they don't until they need something, right? Until the car count drops off or something goes wrong. And right now, we're at a time where it is so important. We're already almost through the first quarter. This might be going up a little bit later on.
We don't know when
Right, right.
to make sure we look in the order.
But first quarter is almost done, and that's where we're at right now. And this is the usually for most businesses and most shops, the first quarter is kind of the slower one, right? Would you agree
Yep.
with that, Doug?
Yeah, end of fourth quarter, beginning of first quarter are usually a little bit slower as they're trying to recover from the holidays. A lot of people are waiting for their tax returns, but
So when should they be marketing if they already know that they're going to be a little bit slower?
24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you've got to plan for your slow time. So you got to market all year round to keep that top mind awareness. You
Let
can't just go, oh, I'm slow, I'm going to dump some money here, because it doesn't work that way.
Oh my gosh, we talk about that all the time.
Right.
I was speaking with somebody about loans yesterday on it, and he was like, "Don't wait until you don't have money to try to get a capital loan. Like, don't wait until you don't have money." But you just touched on something for a moment, and the tax returns. Listen, I love creativity, and I love when all of you businesses out there run a tax return, but you do it in April. That's too late. Okay, so
Yep.
let me explain how the world works or the tax system works. People that are getting a refund file like January 11th or the minute they get their W-2s, and some of them don't even wait if it's already filed online.
I did mine like January 18th and I had it spent by February 1st. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
so if you're truly trying to target people that are going to be getting a windfall of money or a tax return, you have to be marketing for that. It
Right.
at least start November, December, January, because
Yep.
The end of January, it's done. The people that owe money file on April 15th most of the time. There are people that get money back, file April 15th, but it is a very small percentage. So think about that with your marketing. So not saying you can't make something hit April 15th, but then you got to gear it to, did you owe taxes? Not, hey,
Right.
spend your tax return
Yep.
with us.
Right.
And it's
Right.
so important to be helping your customers out and reminding them about budget and the services that are coming up in the maintenance, because so many times we travel, all of us, all the time. People talk, what do you do? And they hear automotive industry, oh my gosh, and the two things I get all the time is, Why do they make me drop my car off at 8 in the morning when they don't even look at it till 1? Like, every single person asks that. It's like there's a script. And the second thing is, why don't they tell me what I need so I can save for the money? Why
Right.
is it like, why do I go in there today and they say my car's perfect, and the next time I come in, they
It's
say you
falling
have to
apart.
do all this maintenance,
Right.
right? And a lot of times, depending on what time of year, they'll mention the tax return, and they'll
Yep.
say, and they'll give me, and they'll say, for example, I just got back, $1,500 of my tax return. I didn't know I needed $1,200 worth of maintenance. I went and bought a TV I didn't need, or I went and
Mhm.
bought
Yep.
a something where they would have earmarked that for
You have to
repairs.
plan for the unexpected.
Right.
It's just like anything else. Like prime example, my cell phone. Stupid things. Um, it was working perfectly fine, and then the next day it was not. Like it turned into a giant lamp and then fried out.
Oh
So I had
no.
to go buy a new phone. I didn't want to, but it's an unexpected expenses that you have to make sure that you're budgeting for.
Off the left, do we have a profit first account for cell phones? That
That are
might be one we
catching on
need to.
fire.
That we need to add. That
He
we
goes
need
off
to
the
add.
speaker that we listened to the other day.
Mhm.
Make sure you have those 6 different accounts to bucket everything out.
Oh, you're talking about Mike?
Mike McKelowitz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell him he's got to add in a cell phone.
There you go.
Because how much are the cell phones now? I
Like
mean,
I
1,000 plus.
I
yeah,
don't know.
Yeah.
average. But
I just cry.
just cry, just cry, just cry. So marketing, you saying about the quarter, so I didn't mean to get
Right.
us
No,
off
you're
track,
good.
but you have to understand when things are going to be hitting, and know your audience and know where you're targeting. And the tax thing is just such a great example, because
Right.
one point of view that you're targeting is people that's getting money back, and one is people that's paying money, because they both are going to need repairs and maintenance
Right.
on their
Yep.
vehicle, right? So how do we speak to each of them in the language they understand, and when do we ensure that does that? So for Jason was asking when they should be marketing, and you said 24 hours a day, but we teach our members to be at least one quarter ahead. But that is probably not far enough out, but we do what we can.
Right.
How should somebody be, October of 25 sat down and said, here's my marketing calendar for the entire year of 26? Or why don't you talk about that a little bit?
So in a perfect scenario, they should know what their trends are. So we're like at Optimize, we're really big on looking at the trends and histories of what they've been doing. So we want to make sure that you understand where your slow points are. And then we're going to start developing those plans well before that happens, just as long as they're partnering with us and doing what
Right.
we need them to. And we can watch that trend line so we can start marketing right before it starts slowing down. So we want to make sure that it's a consistent flow coming in.
Now, I do want to build off of that. I know we always talk about that we want to plan so far ahead, right? And one of the things is, and I've been saying this on a bunch of podcasts this week, where you always want to do what's tried, trusted, and true. You always want to always that should never be
Your
changed.
staples.
Your staples. There we go. Look at that. I gotta use that now. You should always be doing your staples, but you also want to make sure that you are testing new things and how can
Yep.
we continue to improve. Um, I want your take on this. So here's my take, and I love marketing and just in general for any business. One of the biggest things that's changed for us in the industry as far as marketing goes is local service ads.
Yep.
So we've always said you can't just there's no magic button. If you're slow that week, there's no magic button that you're just going to turn on and you're going to start getting cars. But we have something right now that is pretty close, as close as we're probably ever going to get to a magic button for acquisition at the very least. And it does seem to be local service ads at the moment, because you could potentially, if you've already got all of the background check and all that stuff figured out, you could potentially turn it on, add or increase your budget that you're doing per week, and you might be able to get a few more calls out of that.
Yes and no. There's still the training of the algorithms and everything else that goes behind the scenes. So you still need that good lead time to make sure that they're going to run effectively.
So
Why
what
don't
if
we take a
right,
moment though to explain to our
the local
viewers,
service ads?
what local service
Right.
are, because not everybody might not
Yeah.
know.
So you could jump in at any moment here as well. From my understanding is local service ads are going to be targeting more so people that are actually looking for a specific type of service provider.
Yep. It's more of a hyper local type search.
So when I tell my friend I need a pair of boots and my phone is anywhere near me, and all of a sudden my boot ads start coming
Not
up.
that. That's not local service, right? So that's just going to be regular Google AdWords
Yep.
or just targeted ads. This is like if I wanted an auto repair shop near me or auto repair shop near whatever zip code, you'll see it pop up at the top, like the places that it suggests, but it will say sponsored and you'll pop up right underneath there. It's the same thing that used to, we talked about this last year, Google Guarantee,
Okay.
right? It was coming up last year as Google Guarantee, and now Google Guarantee's kind of fizzled out into just all morphed into local service ads.
Yep, and it's using a lot more AI built into it to help deliver those ads.
Right, and guide people to the stuff that they're looking for. But also, I mean, you said that it still requires lead time to
Yep.
develop, kind of make sure the targeting is on point. So it seems like there's a pretty hybrid approach here. You should already have the local service ads figured out. You should already be on there. But now, when the slow week comes in, if we increase the budget, if we were already running out of the budget before, if we increase the budget, kind of like our, oh crap, the slow week, and we just increase the budget, would that, in that case, would that be as close to a magic button as we could probably get?
Uh, As of today,
Yes.
yes. As of
Yes.
tomorrow,
Probably
wait
not.
and
We
see.
don't know. Right. So first quarter, we're in March, like last week of March, and this is
Yep.
where we're at.
So we
I'd be
need to
curious
make
to
sure
see.
this one runs
Fairly soon.
the
Yep.
first.
But
Right.
like anything, like one of the things that I really hone in on for myself is what I do today affects me at least 6 weeks down the road. So I'm always thinking, what do I need 6 weeks from now? And that's really the mentality that we need when we're looking at local service ads or any type of ads, any type of marketing is what do I need in a certain X amount of time? Not right now.
That's awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about the different types of marketing that people need. So we know that it still 10% by attrition. Any shop loses 10% a week attrition.
Right.
I think so. All the time we need to be just to maintain where you're at. We need marketing, right?
Of course.
Targeted marketing and to for new acquisition because of the people that leave for attrition. They pass away, they sell their car, they get a new
Right.
car,
Yep.
they do whatever, and hopefully they're turning it over to their kid to practice driving, and then we still get to keep it. But
Right.
so we need that. And then if there's any kind of growth that you want, that's a different type, right? We have to be looking at, we have the number that we need to replace constantly our 10%. And then if we want the growth to be moving that up. And what I see happen a lot is people are not really projecting. They might have a budget for the year, might not, but the budget is typically all about dollars, and we don't look at how many cars do we need
Yep.
to get those dollars. And with us, we work with our people to have a 5-year budget. And yes, it is a tentative budget
Of
because
course.
we don't know what's going to happen year
Yeah.
one. They might knock it out of the park. We don't ever lower the budget when you don't hit it
Right.
because we're not going backwards, but we might have to ramp up and
Yeah.
go even more, right? And that's a lot more aggressive. If you're making big changes, you
Yeah.
have to be paying attention
Oh,
to that. So you have to look at that. And then there's that super growth where, okay, I'm adding 2 lifts, or
Right.
I'm adding
More
tires now,
capacity.
right?
Right.
yeah.
I'm adding a
I'm
new
doing an
service.
addition and
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm adding, I'm going to start specializing in something, or adding a new product or
Right.
service that we want to get the word out there that we're doing that.
absolutely. But like another question that kind of go off that is it easier to maintain and do maintenance on things, or is it easier to start from scratch and have to rebuild everything?
Oh, we like to
Right.
start from scratch
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
week.
Of course.
Well, then I'm in the wrong.
SOPs.
I'm in the wrong room.
Yeah. SOPs,
Right.
telling our people coming to work
Yeah.
on time, exit
Oh
appointments.
my
We
goodness.
like a fresh start here,
Right.
Doug.
I think. I
We
think
like
the
a
thing.
fresh start.
Well, I think the automotive industry, right? All of the owners, we're all fixers. So we like to fix broken things, and if they're not broken, somehow we like to break them.
Hmm.
Yep.
Instead of taking the easy path, we're always looking at how do we make our lives harder.
Funny story. That's how I started coaching for ATI, because after they helped me fix my business, I had nothing to do. And I was going out and mucking everything up, and everybody was like, get out, go
Go
do
find something to do.
And Stosh called me and he's like, hey, chick, what do you think about doing some coaching for us? I'm like, okay, I just got kicked out of my shop. So maybe, yeah.
No, but you have a good point, right? It's you want to maintain.
Yeah. And if you're maintaining, it's easier to make those tweaks. Like, I'm not getting this type of service. It's easier to make those tweaks than creating a whole new ad campaign and
Right.
starting from scratch, getting the algorithms to go. You make the tweaks and it's easier to get running quicker.
It goes back to the staples that Kim brought up, right? It's you want to do the staples, and then you have a separate track for testing. Try the new things on a separate track. Now, with that being said, going back to the budget, you're right. Like we never lower budgets, and we always tell our members to aim high. That way, even if you fail, you really didn't fail.
Right.
Because
Yep.
if you aim high and then you don't hit that goal, chances are it's probably still better than the goal that you had originally set.
Yep.
Well, it's Parkinson's law, right? We
Right.
kind of try to get to I don't know if I've told it on the podcast before, but there's a story that I had heard not that long ago, and it was somebody went to a sales. They were in, I don't know if it was real estate. I don't remember what sales, but they went to this class and it was dynamic, and they learned all these things. They went back and implemented everything, and they just couldn't get to the 80% close rate. And so they tried everything, were really diligent. And so they signed back up for the class again because and met with the teacher after and said, listen, I have done every single thing you told me to do. And I can't, I'm stuck at like 76%.
Wow.
The instructor's head about blew off. The what they said was 8%. And they heard 80.
Holy cow.
That's crazy.
So this woman went every to get to 80. If she would have heard 8, she probably would have
Would have
been stuck
stopped.
at 7, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
we have to aim high. We have to, reach for the
Right.
stars because we don't who gets out of bed in the morning and says, I want to be, mediocre today. I want
I
to just be
I wanna
mediocre.
be I wanna be in the bottom
Yeah.
50% today.
Hey,
Right.
hey,
And then you have
some
to stretch.
Sundays, I'll take. Hey, let me just stay in bed today.
That's my travel days, just
Okay.
I just want to hang in bed with my Shebas. I just want to be
Right.
like Anna Sunny. But I mean, you just when you think about that mindset, right? Of people saying, you can't, and that's why when you look at Olympic athletes or
Right.
golf, anything, they have a goal and they want to beat. They have that number. They have that something that they
Yep.
want to, hit, beat, move, break,
Right.
smash it, right? And so we need to have those things because or else we're just repeating this same day over and over and over again.
Yep.
It's not living, first of all,
Right.
and it's
It's
not going to
surviving.
maintain your business,
Yeah.
right? And when I hear shop owners say, or any business owners, say, well, how'd you do this year or last, whatever. And, my mind is, I want to know what your net was, how did you? And they're like, well, we're pleased. What is pleased?
Please, right.
We stayed, we didn't go lower in sales than last year. And I'm like, how is that a metric that you didn't go backwards in sales when all of the costs went up and all? So when
Right.
you're maintaining around the same sales every year, you are going backwards. And when you
Yes.
don't be fooled by that top line number because costs are going up, inflation,
Right.
everything, you're starting to lose, you're eroding your profit.
Hey,
Right.
your employee expenses, your overhead, your parts,
Everything.
everything.
Right.
So Doug, one of the things that we hear a lot, and it doesn't matter what industry, but especially in ours, people are overwhelmed today, right? Which is why they need to hire professionals, why they need to partner with someone that they can trust and that really is an expert in that area. But they don't know what to ask. And so sometimes they just wait around. They're like, they'll hear something from someone else and they're like, oh, my marketing person never said that or never told
Right.
me that. What are the things if I'm looking for somebody to partner with, what should I be looking for in a partner?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
But my advice would be someone that actually listens to you and that you have a good connection with. There is many people out here that do what we do, but you want to make sure that they have the vibe that aligns with what you're trying to do with your business and understand what you're trying to do. Because I could partner with someone down the street and they have a completely different expectation than what we set for them, and it's not going to work. So you just need to have someone that you can partner with, have an open line of communication with, and trust.
And the setting the expectations, can you explain a little bit about how you sit down with your people and say, okay, Jason, you want to grow your business by X, you want this many more vehicles. How do you then help them set the expectations for that?
Yeah. So when we go through the process of um, doing the consults, wow, my water hasn't kicked in yet today.
Right.
Listen, we've spoken to 800 people this week.
Right,
It's
right.
okay.
But when we go through the pre-process of seeing if they are a fit for us, right? We're asking them what their goals are, what their struggles are, what are some of their wins, What are the things that they want to try and tweak? And then we even ask them, what are your long-term goals? And then we're going to develop that plan with them based off of that. And we're going to present it to them and make sure that they have a full understanding of what that entails, what we need from them on a regular basis, and what we're going to provide for them.
Let's talk about what you need from them because that's the other
Right.
thing. Sometimes we'll hear something from one of our
Yeah.
members and they'll say, "Oh, that,
Yeah, it doesn't
partner
work.
you sent us, it's not, working." They referred it.
Right.
And then I call whoever it is and they're like, "Well, we've been asking Jason for photographs or for
Right.
a bio or for this or that for 8 weeks.
Yep.
Here's the 300 emails we sent."
Yep.
What is an expectation? Because I think so many times people just think when they're hiring somebody, and
Yeah, you
especially with
just
marketing, it's set and
set and
forget
forget
it.
it. Right.
Like somebody's coming to do their
Yeah.
lawn,
Yeah.
it's
Just
just a
pay them the
way.
Yeah.
money and it'll get done.
The way that we really like to look at it is we're not a company you're hiring. We're an employee you're hiring. Because as soon as you sign on with us, we're on your payroll. So your employees, you're always checking in with, you're keeping
Right.
a pulse on them, right? So you have to have that same mentality with us. We don't know what exactly is happening in your shop. Yes, we specialize in automotive industry, but we don't know exactly what's happening in your community or in your shop. So the more that they can interact with us, provide us even those little tidbits, or assign someone in their shop that we can reach out to on a regular basis, that's where you're going to be the most successful.
I hope everybody heard that. If you're not going to do it, assign someone. And
Right.
we get business owners or entrepreneurs. They're busy. They're doing things, and stuff gets pushed aside. You have to delegate, which I
Right.
know Jason loves to
Yeah.
talk about that
Well,
delegation.
when we're delegating, I mean, this is one of the things where not only does it help increase ownership in the and accountability in your culture as well as your whoever you're assigning that task to, but marketing does not have to be boring.
No.
I mean, this is where your team wants to have fun. We're also in a landscape right now where they're seeing all these other industries on all forms of social media, just small businesses especially having fun. I
Yep.
mean, that's where they want to turn to social media to have fun. So let them have fun with it. Doesn't mean that all the stuff that's going to go out is going to get you a lead or get you a conversion, but it's good for your culture. It gets the content to your marketing vendor. So now they actually have something more than just a screenshot of a review because you didn't give them anything else.
Right. There's a lot of things that people have a misconception with about social media too, especially on the business. It's not just to promote, you do these types of services or we have this promo going on. It is a way to showcase the culture that you have within
Right,
your
the
business.
personalities, and it makes it a person. It makes it
Yeah.
people that you're dealing with.
And it gives them the opportunity to connect with you on a personal level, but also in today's world, everybody's looking for those techs. Everybody's looking for those service advisors. You know what they're doing first? They're going to your
Right.
website, they're going to your social media, they're looking to see what this particular company is all about. So you are selling to your potential employees too to keep them and understand what the culture is all about.
There's very few automotive industry for independent automotive shops. Social media campaigns or ads that I see that are memorable
Right.
or really stick in my head long term. There's one that I saw, I don't know, like a year ago, and I still think about it and I reference it when I speak to people about it. But to explain the difference between like all-wheel drive and front-wheel drive and
Right.
stuff, they were doing like crab walks on the
Hmm.
across the floor and just showing, and here's how it would be with this, and it was just brilliant. It was silly, it was simple, and it really gave a good
Yeah,
representation of what was it.
it
And,
stood out.
right, and that's one of the things, and it wasn't, I mean, I think it was brilliant. And in today's world, we have everything is a Google place, right? You
Right.
are you are a Google place. There is not the loyalty that people
No.
used to have to brand or anything else that it used to be. And
Yeah.
anywhere, that's why you just said about the near me. People are wherever they're at,
Right.
hair near me, nails near me, here, whatever near me, auto repair. So
Do
you're
you
doing a Google place, right?
do you
We need to
know
make
how
people.
many people start their search online every single day? What the percentage
I
is?
do not, and I'm assuming it's pretty high.
97.
That's
97% of the population starts their searches online. They don't pick up the phone. They
oh
go
yeah, yeah,
they go
right, right,
online,
right.
right? And that all starts with social media.
Right.
So, I don't care if you have the most loyal customer in the world, they're still going to go online
Yes.
to look up if you have a promo going on, what your hours are for that particular day. And if you're not visible there, your neighbor is, chances are you're going to lose that person.
That's a great point because if that shop that did that crab walk, that
Right.
thing, if they were near me, even if I was loyal to another
Yeah.
shop,
You
I
want to
would
try them.
I would go there and I would try them.
Well, I
Yeah.
also want to put this into perspective now. We are in a time and place where, I mean, loyalty is great. And there are going to be loyal customers. Let's not get that wrong.
Right.
But people are not afraid to try new things as much anymore, especially
Only if
businesses
you're
and
a
service.
business owner and you
Right,
have to
right,
try something new.
right. But the regular consumers and even business owners for that matter,
No, I'm just teasing that they want to
right,
keep
right.
doing the same thing at
Of course, but
every
even
day.
business owners, they do it themselves and they see that they're
Mm.
trying new things all the time, even if they have that connection made. Now, with that being said, the reason this is also happening is because social media has added another layer of transparency that people understand what's going on. And this doesn't mean that they're being disloyal. I mean, they will still probably go back to that shop or whatever business at some point. But they want to try new things, they want different experiences, and if they're able to get that, and they can justify it to themselves that they're trying it for some reason. Maybe that's the first people that came to their mind. They're going to do it.
Yep.
So you have to be there.
And the other really misconception is Facebook, right? People are still programmed to this day that it's all about the emojis, the
Oh yeah.
interactions, and everything that's happening with a particular post that you're doing, or the status of, hey, I have 1,000 followers. So many people don't realize that that changed almost 3 years ago, right? It's all about behind the scenes, how many people you're reaching. So you have to do those posts that make people want to interact with you and share to reach more. And that's what it's all about.
Gary V, I love.
Oh
I
yeah.
I just love him.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a Jets fan.
There's Jets fans out there still?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I am not
Aren't
the only
they
one.
aren't they like a minor league football team or
Yeah.
Oh, both of you
Oh,
better
I thought it was
just.
softball.
You're lucky
it's it's football.
you're lucky I'm in my happy flower sunshiny mood right now, or the two of you. But you
I can't really talk. I'm a Vikings fan and we
oh,
we fold
okay.
in the playoffs. So
All right. Yeah. I think sadly you're a little bit better than the Jets, I think, but we'll have our day again. We'll have our day.
Hey,
I had my Joe
I was a Titans fan for a long time.
I had my
So
Joe Namath jersey on for the Super Bowl when I
yeah.
was watching at the Super Bowl party. You know who Joe Namath is?
Yes, I do know who Joe
Okay. All right.
Namath
You got to watch with him. There's stuff he doesn't. Oh, oh, so Chuck Norris died yesterday.
No way.
Do you know
yeah.
who Chuck Norris is?
I do know who
As
Chuck
soon
Norris
as I
is.
found out, I said, I'm going to run upstairs and ask Jason if he knows.
Did he really?
Yeah.
86 years old. It's so sad.
Chuck Norris is
A legend.
he can't be killed.
He can't. I know. See. We're gonna have to just see. I'm waiting for the memes. So talk about social media right
Hmm.
now. That's a hot topic. So Gary V. One of the things I love about Gary V. is he's like, just do it. Don't be sitting around talking about it. Do
Right.
it.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. Take a thing. It'll be like, hey, I love this coffee. Whatever it
Right.
is. He's about very in the moment, taking, charge of the trends and
Right.
watching all the different things, whether it's TikTok and something. Now there's Substack and I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many
There's
things.
so many.
There's so many, but like right now, just like we'll talk about this for example, Chuck Norris died yesterday. There isn't a person in the world that's not speaking about Chuck Norris and whatever. So what could people be doing right now,
Yeah.
whether it's on Facebook or
Well, this goes back to the testing thing, right? What I
right?
was saying, you have the staples, let that go.
Yep.
Things like this happen all the time. I'm not saying like Chuck Norris dying happen all the time, but
No,
there's always current events that are
right.
going on, and even hyper local. This is the perfect. It's a layup. I mean, you've got the ball in your hands. There's nobody guarding the rim. Just do something with it. And I'm sure that everyone has some kind of Chuck Norris. Let me just clarify. He's Texas Walker Ranger, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
right. So I'm just making sure because
can't-
I did something and
I
Kim
can't
brought it up
believe you
already.
have to
Well,
verify that one.
But,
Come on
let
now.
me
but
just-
that was
There is
many
only
years
there's
into
only
his
one Chuck Norris.
Right.
and that's
right.
many years into his career. Like that was
Right.
kind of at the end of his. But
Right.
yes.
So everybody has some kind of notion that they can relate to in some level.
Yep.
Even if you just pick up your phone and just talk about that and how you could always tie it back. I think Kim does a masterclass on this. No matter what topic we're talking about, we could be talking about ice cream and somehow she'll tie it back into business and the shop.
And
So find
it's
that method.
that's 100% the way you're supposed to do it. Like
Right.
people want the unfiltered, the unscripted
Right.
process. Like, hey, this Aquafina water is great today. Make sure you stay hydrated. I didn't script that.
Right.
I bumbled a little bit, but hey,
Yeah.
it's
Well, you did
good.
it earlier too. The water hasn't kicked in yet. Right? People know that you're talking about most people drink coffee in the morning and you're drinking
I'm
water.
gonna Google all the things that Chuck Norris was in because Texas Ranger. I'm gonna Chuck Norris.
That's probably the most recent one that he's known for, but
Well, I mean,
so many good
I think
action
that was
movies.
that was probably before I was born too, though.
How old are you?
I just turned 30.
Jesus.
So maybe it was after. I don't know.
So we had undefeated karate career from 64 to 74. In the 80s, he was in all the action films, and then 93 to 2001, Texas Ranger.
Oh, okay. So it was my time
Then
then.
he had schools, creation of his own system,
Wow.
and there's like a ton of other stuff. He was in the Air Force.
What didn't he do?
He's done everything. He's
That's
done everything.
phenomenal.
So his first movie was The Wrecking Crew in 68, but 72, where he really gained prominence, was his fight scene against Bruce Lee
Yep.
in the
He was
way.
in a movie with Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he got
That's where people started going.
and remember, oh, I
Oh,
forgot about Good Guys Wear Black is
yep.
on there. That
My goodness. I'm very uncultured if you haven't figured that one out yet when it comes to stuff like this.
We have a lot to teach you, young
I
one.
know.
well, and then towards the end of like all the old athletes and the George Foreman grills and everything. Then he was doing that body
Oh,
start
was it P90X?
that
Or no?
no,
No.
it was a gym that used your body weight.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I'm
It'll pop
picturing it.
it'll pop in my head and I'll think about it. But
We'll link it in the bottom.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
but right now, just as an example today with Chuck Norris, even if you did a fun facts, you did a how many can you answer? If you did anything about Chuck Norris, and there's so many Norris memes
Like
out there that you can just start recirculating
in
and posting.
honor of Chuck Norris, how many karate wins did he have? Do a survey.
Right. It's something engaging.
Yep. And that's going to get your reach going out there
Or
even more.
here's my favorite Chuck reference. What's yours?
Right.
When he kicked the butt of a polar bear, come on.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. That was just a meme.
I loved when he called out Steven Seagal. Do you remember back? See, I'm showing my age. I know you probably won't know who that is, but Steven Seagal thought
I
he was
do
it,
not.
and Chuck Norris said,
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
but they're just so take advantage of the moments of that's happening, and there's thousands of moments a day. You can even subscribe to a like what's happening today. Google I know
Yeah.
everybody's loving
Well-
chat now. Just say, hey, what's a pop culture
Right.
reference for today?
Well, one of the things that we do at Optimize to help out our clients with that is in our HQ, which is like the command center where
Right.
you can see how everything's going. You can create postings. We give you a prompt calendar to help you.
Oh,
That's
like-
phenomenal.
Like, yes, I don't know, Taco Tuesday, right?
Right.
We'll have, hey, this is what's usually working. Here's some good hashtags. Go create a video.
That's great.
how many of you did something for 314 for a Pi Day? That's like
I
these
did
simple
something.
things. I'm sure you did.
I
but
ate pizza.
you ate pizza.
Yeah.
The pizza
There's
pie.
things there's things that happen all the time around us, right? And you
Right.
just have to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't believe we're just like about at the end of our time, and
We were at the end of our time like 5 minutes ago, Kim.
well, you know what? I get excited.
I
when
do
our
too.
Friends are here.
I know.
There's a couple things that I want to make sure we
Yes.
get
Yes.
out in the open before we go on with our day.
Right.
The studies right now are showing that many shops are dusting off their old playbook and putting them back in play, which is great because that's, like you said, that's
Staples.
the staples.
It's like they brought back Bill Bottoms, and I couldn't be happier.
The skinny jeans.
Oh no. No skinny jeans.
No, they don't. They're not good on me.
Some things should not come back. Bill
But
Bottoms.
A lot of owners are bringing out their original playbooks. Yes, they need to be tweaked a little bit, but they're still the staples.
Right.
But the other part that's really important to realize is a lot of shops and a lot of businesses are coming off the high finally of that pandemic that happened
Right.
a while ago. I don't want to say the
Yes.
word.
Yes.
But with that, they're starting to see the levels of business level out to what it was before. So with that, we have to market to have the level of success that we had during that time period.
Right.
And The other study that I read was 66% of businesses, small businesses, are going to increase their marketing budget this year. So if you haven't already put your plan in place,
Wow.
you need to get on the ball. And if you have it in place, you need to make sure that it's still trending in the right way, or reach out to somebody that can help you make sure that you're successful.
The 66%, that's massive because if you're not doing it,
Your neighbor
chances
is.
are your neighbor is.
Real quick, because I know we're out of time, but can you please dispel the myth of I don't need any marketing. I only believe in word of mouth.
Well, if you believe in word of mouth, you need to be on social media
Right.
because that is how word of mouth is happening
That
today.
is
Yeah.
today's word of mouth.
Yeah. But also what you said, 97%
Yep.
of whatever starts on search, right?
Yep.
So word of mouth is, yeah, your Google reviews are word of
It's
mouth.
your reviews. It's how people respond to your post. It's
Right.
also how you respond to the reviews.
Right.
Like I heard someone yesterday talking about how they struggle to take the emotion out of the reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't come back
Well,
and protect your baby.
right, right. Exactly.
You have to make sure you take a step back.
That's very well said. Well, I do have one thing I want to add to this. I know it might get misconstrued a lot. I mean, this is we all have our business own our we are have all been business owners and work with business owners all day and every day. One thing that I don't want to get misconstrued is we're not always just striving for more this, more that. It's not always about we want more and more and more and more. It's about the quality. It's about not just for you, but the people that also depend on you,
Yep.
the community. Everybody does win, and your more might be different.
Well, that plays right into a question that we ask people. They say, I'm too busy right now. Well, that's great that you're busy, but are you getting the right jobs? Are you doing the right labor rates? Because if you're not, we need to talk to you to help get you in the right path.
Well,
This was so fun.
it was. Well,
It's always fun. I love hanging out with you guys.
All right, everybody, and RIP Chuck Norris. And
yep,
for those of us that he was part of our childhood and before he was even got to the uber cool level of
Yeah.
all the Chuck Norris facts and things. And it is a sad day. It is a sad day about that. But start paying attention to what's going around you. There's events, there's things every single day. Take advantage of that. Make sure, I love what Doug just said about social media is your word of mouth now.
hmm
That is your word of mouth. You're not going out and having conversations and doing things anymore. We're doing
right.
it through social media. So everybody stay safe and make good choices, and we will be back.